No one ever brought you here, so-called Negro. They brought you literature that mentally displaced you from your heritage. The people at the top and the people at the bottom are the same. They are the so-called Negro, the Mayate, the Maya, the Aztec, the Inca, etc. You cannot deny your own eyes. This is the absolute truth. And the people in New Orleans knew it. I'm going to give you the opportunity to read this book, some of the passages in this book for yourself. You have to read, you have to study, you have to show your kids what you've seen. You got to wake them up. Or don't complain about the dead state that we are in. You have to change it by changing your mind. And when you see the word more, you got to look at that as the same way you see a word like Negro, black, nigger, mayate. It's a misnomer. It is not a tribe. Moor was never a tribe on this land. It's a misnomer, for the record. We in a broken state, especially the men, the so-called Negro, the so-called African American, and the so-called black man. It's going to take a miracle for us to wake up to what's really going on and what has really taken place on this land and make changes about it. Because only changes can be made is in your mind. And us as a collective can make a lot of changes if we change our minds as a collective and stand on it. We've been bamboozled. And the slavery you've been under is the same slavery you under now. Mental slavery. All the ancient artifacts, writings, etc. It points to the people that's on this land calling themselves foreigners. It points to you being the ancient people of this land. You can't get around it anymore. Nobody can get around it. Nobody can disprove it. Only thing this awakening is doing is weeding out the fools and the deceivers and the people that love them. Ain't nobody can come and tell me I'm from Africa or anything pointing towards that narrative. My grandmother knew these things I'm showing you. She told them to me all of my life. It's no way you can tell me that this is a lie. I found the evidence. It's not a person on this earth can dispute this evidence I'm bringing out. America is the ancient land. Everything started from here. The Americans migrated and civilized all over the earth. That's why we the most hated. And you want to accept all this other type of history, but you faced with the truth, and you're going to have to accept it or realize you are a lover of lies. And the lover of lies is confronted with the truth when you're dealing with me, because this is the mystery of the cocaine mummies, right? And they said that all these mummies from over in Africa and Egypt had cocaine and tobacco in their system. Now, if you were on my old YouTube channel, I had a whole teaching on tobacco and how I started the industry here. We used to wear tobacco because we control the trade. Back in the ancient time before the Pale people came and usurped us on this land, we ran the tobacco trade and the cocaine trade on this land. We owned the resources. So you mean to tell me you can't understand that we ran the trade of all things on this land, from the marijuana to cocaine to whatever else grew out of the earth? But we've been led to believe that our ancestors were some booty scratchers sitting somewhere primitive, didn't know nothing when they were doing global travel before anybody was doing it. We was traveling. We was moving at work. You feel me? They was moving at work, obviously. You been hijacked. The industry been hijacked. Now you are a slave because you will argue with evidence that you are the ancient royalty of this land. I know who I am, and I'm going to proclaim it. You being incarcerated on your own land at the highest rate for a product that your ancestors owned. The cocaine, the nicotine, the anything, the corn, anything come out of this land belongs to us. And you being arrested and locked up for these things. When all evidence points to our ancestors traveling over this earth and starting civilizations. The American Indian started the ancient Egyptian dynasties. This is a fact. Look it up. You're looking at the evidence right now. All you got to do is stand up and start claiming your heritage. Teach your kids to stand firm on their heritage, and the game is over, people. This is why I was put on this earth. My grandma drilled this stuff in my head for so long. I could never let it go, and I never will let it go. I'm an engine.